The closed beta for New Genesis has finally dropped as of yesterday, May 14th. And if you are not in this beta, yet you have a Windows 10 PC with the Microsoft Store available to you, I don't know what you're doing. Because it is no longer a closed beta at this point, as they've let registration go through the entire time. The entire length of the beta you can register and get in. So, with that in mind, if you haven't done that, you should probably go do that if you're interested. But I got in. I got in day one. I spammed Xbox Insider Hub for 2.5 hours for it to go in without crashing. Thank you, Microsoft. Appreciate you. And I thought I'd make a video, give my thoughts on it. After playing for about 6 or 7 hours now, getting to level 9. I've played a little bit of time. I've played solo. I've played with friends. I've done quite a few things. So we're just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna talk a little while and give you my thoughts. And we're actually gonna start from the beginning here. And by the beginning, I mean, if you've played PSO2, character creation isn't going to be really anything new to you, except for almost everything. And by that, I mean, you have all of your normal stuff, like you can adjust your stuff or you can just do it the easy way. But there's just a lot more that you can adjust. Not only that, but it appears that gender has been completely taken out of the equation, meaning that at any time you can really just switch your body type over from what is considered male or female to the other type, body type, you know. It just allows me to wear any of the outfits I want. Like if I get, I normally play a male character, and if I get these female items and they're cool, then I'm going to be able to wear them. So with that, I think it's pretty dope. But look at all this crazy shit you can do. It's pretty dope, honestly. And I keep saying it's dope because even the character creation, which I've known for years, is completely revamped. It's completely refreshed. And even though I wasn't able to use my character in the beta because of the ship that I'm on and it's not open to me, I wasn't upset because I got to explore the new character creation. With that, I made some memes. I was talking to some people while I was creating. I made the winking emoji because a friend that I was streaming to in Discord was like, what if you could do that since you can move the eyelids? And here's that. Oh man, this is ridiculous. But even just from the start of character creation, I was really in love. Moving on to classes, which I'm going to kind of do as a sub thing here. There are 6 classes available to you: Hunter, Fighter, Ranger, Gunner, Force, and Tector, which you'll recognize from PSO2, except everything has been updated with how they play. All the classes right now only have their main weapon accessible to them, I guess aside from Gunner, which can also use Assault Rifle. But in the main game, it appears that's going to be changing. That's only a beta option, so that's alright. As soon as you're done making your character, as usual, they throw you at the main hub for the game here. Which isn't where you end up starting, and it lets you know that pretty quick, but it isn't ending up where you actually start in the full game. It's just an abridged version here. But Central City, which I was worried I was going to be underwhelmed with, I was pleasantly surprised. It's a lot bigger than they make it look in all of these promotional videos and all of these live streams that they're putting on. It's a lot bigger. There's a lot of stuff to look at here. There's not necessarily a lot to do. It is a hub area. You can't use your weapons. You can't really do much of anything. You can dash and you can sprint. Thank God you can sprint at the press of a button. Thank God, because we've been waiting for that for years. But it's fine. It's more of an updated version of Step Jump, which puts you immediately into sprint once you're landing in PSO2's main game. Instead of having to jump, you just hold the dash button, and you can go ahead and well, run. And it seems like a silly thing to be excited about, but already without even attacking anything, I'm just able to run. I'm able to run in the main area. I'm able to dash and jump and glide in the main area. I can do everything that I can normally do that doesn't involve actual combat in the hub. And it just made me really happy and really excited to get further into this game. It is a hub, like I said. There's lots of stuff to do in terms of like NPCs to talk to, and you can grab lots of side missions. There's stores and different attendants you can go to for like the food counter and all that fun stuff. The drinks from the camp ship or the medicine counter in PSO2 are no longer here and are replaced with some other things. We'll kind of get into those a bit later, but the hub area really, all in all, is just way better than I expected it to be. I'm more than impressed. As soon as you do complete your character and you're all ready to go, it does plop you down in Central City and throws you into what I consider a guided tutorial, in that it kind of leads you around teaching you how to play the game, teaches you a lot of stuff, including really how the combat works, how the exploration works, how to buff yourself. Like, there are these giant mags in the area, these region mags that you can feed, and they buff everyone in the area as well as you specifically with extra buffs if you feed it. And then there's also these food items which you can access in the hub area, or I think there are also these areas around the map where you could also cook food. So those are really cool. The guided tutorial is relatively short. It's like an hour. You don't have to follow it, but I'd at least recommend it because it really does help you get into the game and learn exactly what you're doing. After that hour, you're just told, hey, there's lots of people around Central City. Go take their side quests. They'll help you out, but it's all up to you now. And I really like that. I don't think PSO2 had that great of a tutorial. A lot of the people that I've talked to over the years, and it's gotten better, of course, but a lot of the people I've talked to over the years have been really confused in early game because there's just so much there, and it's not exactly the easiest thing to get started, where I feel as, at least in the NGS beta, I was thrown right in and I knew exactly what I was doing, and that may have something to do with me having so much time in PSO2, but I don't think it does. I think this tutorial is, if anything, really improved from what we had in PSO2, and I appreciate it completely. You may have noticed that I mentioned exploration in the last section, and that's because, oh my god, there's actually exploration in a Phantasy Star game. I don't think this has happened before, but this is an open world game, and it's open map. There's only really loading screens if you're going into a cocoon or something. There's a little bit of a transition between going into different areas, but besides that, it's all exploration. There's no loading. It's awesome. You go around this massive map, which again, I was really worried that I was going to be disappointed by this map, but it's a lot bigger than they make it look. Not only that, but there's all this stuff around that only implies that they're going to make it bigger. Not only that, but we're constricted to the beta, and I still explored and have fun for 6 hours straight. Dude, this is probably going to be one of the shortest sections in this video because I want you to see the exploration for yourself, because like I said, the beta is still going on. You can still play right now. But if you can't play the beta right now, of course, the game does come out next month. I don't want to spoil any of this exploration because as someone who didn't really look into it, I was impressed and in awe, genuinely. It's a completely new experience, and adding the actual ability to explore, and I'm not talking about little old forest exploration on PSO2 or the forest expeditions or whatever the hell you want to call them. You're actually exploring, and it's so sick, and I want to leave that one for you. But all I have to say is that I'm impressed, and I know all of these sections are ending with me saying I'm impressed. I have a feeling you may know what my final thoughts are going to be here, but let's go ahead and continue. Emergency trials still exist, which I wasn't sure what we would be seeing coming into this, but emergency trials exist. Not only that, but PSE bursts exist, and though it's in your face, you can see a marker on your screen anytime you are near an emergency trial or a open world boss enemy. You can see the marker, but it doesn't come up in your face and just go, "Emergency code due." It doesn't do that anymore, and I think that's a good change. I think that's awesome, because it feels more professional to me. It feels like they actually were like, okay, well, we don't need it to be in your face anymore. It's not all there, and you have the choice now if you want to go do these emergency trials. Not only that, but look at the PSE burst icon here. Look at this gauge. It's so much better than what we had in PSO2, at least in my opinion. In PSO2, we were told, oh, well, this is leveled up and this is leveled up, but it didn't really give you an idea of when you were going to be going. Not only that, but it didn't really give you an idea of your progress toward it. And especially for a lot of players, no one, unless you were a veteran, were told by a veteran, or spent a lot of time and research, no one explained how PSE bursts work. And here, if you're doing these trials, your PSE burst is going to be going up. Your photon blasting, that's going to go up. And the gauge is just, I think, again, everything feels more professional here, and I appreciate that a lot. It's no longer as in your face as it used to be, and I think that's an improvement that is needed, in my opinion. So while you're exploring, you're going to come across these things called cocoons, and also these things called towers. I have found that these are very similar. If you've played Breath of the Wild, these are essentially shrines, and I think they're great. They're little activities you can do that give you skill points as well as EXP. Some of them are combat based, some of them are movement and parkour based. I think they're really great. Cocoons are relatively shorter ones. They're not supposed to be incredibly long. The point of the game is exploration, right? So these shrines or cocoons, like I said, are a little bit shorter, but the towers are more like little dungeons. They're supposed to take longer. The one tower I did said that the completion time reward was for 23 minutes, and you had an hour and a half to complete it. I don't remember exactly right now how long it took us to complete. I think like 8 minutes or something. It'll be shown on screen sometime around right now. But the cocoons are great. The towers are really great. I thought they were really fun introductions to how the tower and cocoon system works. None of them in the beta are really that hard, but I thought they were very interesting, to say the very least. And the fact that you don't gain skill points from leveling up, but instead from completing these cocoons and towers, it's a new way of playing the game, and I feel it's very interesting, to say the very least. So the last thing I did before going ahead and making this video was trying out the urgent quest that is available starting today. And the urgent quest is really cool. The way they handled it was reminiscent of how they do in PSO2, except you're not in the hub. You have to go to the area where the emergency is. You have to go to where the boss is, and then it gives you this option, if you're of a high enough battle power, to go ahead and accept that mission. I'm going to be releasing a full video of the urgent quest here likely tomorrow, my full playthrough of the one I did, and you can see for yourself exactly how fun that seems or what that is like, but all I'm going to say here is that it was really cool to see them use their old system and improve it by a lot. They really went for something that felt more urgent, and hey, go to this area, go kill this thing, go grab as many people as you can, go kill this thing because it's gonna take over or whatever. And I thought the way they handled it was really cool. So, being a beta, I have to talk about the bugs I experienced, which were minimal, to say really anything. Most of the bugs that I personally experienced were some frame drops, transitioning, which I don't even know if that's a bug. And other than that, really visual bugs I had. I had some wonky leg things, which you'll be seeing right now. I also had lots of visual bugs, but honestly, nothing game-breaking. I've had some friends mention that their game crashes quite a bit, and by quite a bit, I mean during their 12-hour game session, it crashed like 2 or 3 times, but it could be them. I never had any crashing myself, but it is an issue that I've been made aware of. But really, I've had no bugs. I've had nothing really go wrong that was game-breaking at the very least. Some of the areas have layers on them. I can show you this kind of here. The camera can go through walls, and some things that we thought, like me and my buddies thought, were maybe doors for the full game, or maybe later expansions with dungeons and things. Some of these things we thought were doors, you could really see through, and I don't know if this is confirming whether or not they are, but they look like actual doors with ground behind them. It's really strange. Again, you'll be seeing that here. I took some screenshots, and yeah, other than that, really no bugs. I'm impressed. So yeah, there you go. I guess it's time for my final thoughts. I've been waiting for the new Genesis beta for quite some time. I tried to get into the JP one with no luck. I tried to get into the other JP one also with no luck. And I was really excited when I was able to get into the new Genesis beta for global, especially since that's where my main account is now. And I am nothing short of impressed. I am incredibly excited for June to be playing this game. We'll be doing a lot more videos about this game. We'll be doing lots of streams over at twitch.tv/PolarSamurai. And I am overwhelmed, honestly. I am really happy that I wasn't disappointed. I had zero expectations going into this. I have played Phantasy Star for years. I assumed I was going to be disappointed, and I was far from it. And if you're a fan of Phantasy Star, I know recently I've been making Phantasy Star related videos, and I say recently loosely, but I am nothing short of impressed. And as someone who has played Phantasy Star games for so long, I am really happy to see that Sega has finally modernized their shit, essentially. With that, I'm Polar Samurai. If you've made it this far into the video, I appreciate you a lot. If you liked this video, expect more here pretty soon. Like I said, another video is coming tomorrow with my full playthrough of the Urgent Quest. If you enjoy Phantasy Star, or really you just like the sound of my voice, thank you, by the way, then you should hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, do anything. Seeing anything really on these videos makes me really happy. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope that if you're playing NGS, that you're really enjoying it. I hope that it has lived up to your expectations as well as it has lived up to mine, or at least actually surpassed mine, actually. And with that, again, I'm Polar Samurai. Thanks for watching.